All right, guys, this is it. This is probably the biggest match in the history of Mars FC. This is our first time playing internationally, as far as I'm aware. And we are at home here against Guam Shipyard, and our hope is that we can get a big victory here today. Interestingly enough, there are a couple fans there from Guam, but most of them, of course, are on our side. Not that many, though. You wonder why we built such a big stadium when we can't even get 5% of it filled, but that's just the way that it is. And let's see if we can get the ball off of them here in the early going. And there's Feng Xiaochi doing what we know he can do to Ling Guanda, back to Liu Chunjie. Looking good so far, over to Chen Chengju. And Chen Zhengju unfortunately takes a shot from range, and that ends up turning into a bunch of nothing. But it was worth a shot. It was worth an attempt, and everyone appears to be interested. Hopefully somebody will be a little inspired here. We can get some good excellence going on. There's Kader Bamba. It's been a little while since we've seen him. Over to Liu Chunjie. Not really much of a pass, nothing on it, but nobody seems to mind. Cai Yuting over to Chen Chengju. Over to Silla. Silla down to Menegong. Menegong brings it up right side. Over to Silla again. And his pass is knocked away. He passes again to Lingwand over to Ndaye, and he has a big shot on goal and scores right away. So Ndaye had a really kind of a poor time in our most recent league match, and he came right out of the gates here with a big shot. You can tell who likes big matches. Man, this guy loves a big match. He comes over here right away and says, I'll just take this shot, and that is more than capable of beating their keeper. It's 1-0 for Mars FC. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. Here's Cai Yuting with it, passing to Ling Guanda. Ling Guanda knocks this up and over for Feng Xiaochi. Feng Xiaochi, and he passes back to Ling Guanda over to Hu Shichan, and unfortunately the header doesn't quite work for him, but Ndaye is there to pick that one off. Hu Shichan with a shot, and that is deflected. I think that we are probably going to wind up overwhelming them. I think that we have quality that they can't imagine. I was looking, you saw this yesterday, Kader Bamba with the header, and that just misses from going in. There's Liu Chunjie over to Feng Xiaochi. Liu Chunjie again over to Ling Guanda. Back to Ndaye to Cai Yuting, back to Ndaye. There it is forward for Feng Xiaochi, but it's just too far. Not particularly good pass. I noticed this yesterday. Guam Shipyard are an amateur side, and so we should be able to defeat them by a fairly sizable margin, you would think. I mean, the Taiwan league is more highly rated than their league, and there are a lot of reasons to believe that we should be okay. Here's Ndaye, and he knocks this back to Lingwand over to Hushirchan, and he just takes the shot, and that's a really good save by their keeper, man. So we go back and throw it in again here to Cai Yuting, over to Chen Chengju, down to Menegong. Menegong moves it up right side, moving up a little bit more. See if he can cross over to Silla. Silla down to Chen Chengju, and that's knocked over for Ndaye, who just misses knocking that one in. Man, that was a good play by him to try to save that and try to get that into the goal. You can see he's thirsty for a goal. He wants to get another one, and this one just misses going in. I think you could argue that might have been over the line, but I don't think that we have goal line technology at this level. Menegong with the throw over to Hushirchan. Hushirchan with it now, back to Menegong, knocks this one over, and it's Lingwanda taking that on the volley, and unfortunately it's over everybody's head, but we're looking pretty good. This is like the vintage Mars FC display, and I think this does settle it for me when it comes to Nene, who I think is not going to be on the squad for long. Now, we do need to play defense, and here's Baza here with it for Guam Shipyard. Knocks it over, and boy, that was a good shot by them. Lee Chaba gets a good save in there. He anticipates exactly where that one was going to go. Gets his hands right in the way. Here's Baza again, and up goes the corner. Cai Yuting heads that away, and that's the end of that threat. So we have weathered the first storm that came our way. Feng Xiaochi throws to Hushirchan. Hushirchan back to Liu Chunjie. Does a good job holding on to it over Lingwanda, and there it is for Hushirchan. He just gives up on that one. And Ndaye now over to Lingwanda. I think Hushirchan misjudged that, and this is headed over to Silla, whose header, unfortunately, is just a little bit wide of goal. A little bit better the second time there. Always second time's the charm. First time, I think that Hushirchan just didn't think that he had enough speed to catch up to it. Here's Kader Bamba now with the ball. Over to Chen Chengju and over to Silla. Back to Bamba, over to Silla again, over to Chen Chengju, and it ends up with Menegong. Menegong with it, passes back to Bamba, over to Chen Chengju again, back to Bamba, over to Menegong. Silla now with it, back to Menegong. Menegong moves this up right side and over to Chen Chengju. And it goes up and over to Husher-chan, who heads that one in for a goal. Now, was he onside is the question. The flag stays down, but now he's called offside. I thought he was offside when he received this. Yeah, you can see, ooh, man, that's close. That is so close. But yeah, I think it's a good call. I think that he was offside by about a toe or two. Silla now with it. And the pass forward to Husher-chan, but he's just not quite awake enough to get to that. Here's Silla again with a shot, and that almost gets past Basler. And so we're doing all right. Still 1-0 is the score. You would expect us to be a little bit more ahead the way we're dominating the match. Menegong now with it, and it's passed back to Bamba. Bamba moves this up over to Chen Chengju, back to Kader Bamba. Bamba over to Cai Yuting. Cai Yuting lumps this one forward. I think Husher-chan's onside, and his shot, unfortunately, is off target. So, I mean, that's a good attempt. Remember, he's only 18 years old, right? We can afford to have a little bit of that, not quite getting it in. As long as he's getting into the space, I think we're doing a good job. We'll have a little talk with him here and tell him that, yeah, we have faith in you. That's the thing. I wanted to say I believe in you, and that's what it is. We have faith in you. We want to move forward. Now, what the difference is between all of those options is still, up and in the air, but hopefully that one says what I want to tell him, which is, hey, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Stop, trying to play outside of yourself. Here's Feng Xiaoqi with the free kick, and that one ends up hitting straight off the wall. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't Menegong taking that, but we'll do it either way. Here's Feng Xiaoqi once again now with the corner. And that is headed back for another corner. So we'll see if we can get a goal here. Wouldn't it be great if Kader Bamba got one after being off the squad for such a long time? Feng Xiaoqi with another corner, and Cai Yuting is the one he was heading for, and didn't quite get to him. That's the end of that attempt. Basler knocks this one forward. We're going to win this. No, we don't win that in midfield. But you can see, look at how many guys we have back. Lin Guangdan now trying to play defense and doesn't do a particularly good job of it. Li Chaba, however, is there to pick up the loose change as it springs out. It's still 1-0 for Mars FC. Lin Guangdan was trying to hold on, trying to keep up with Salas, and didn't do a particularly good job of it, but Cai Yuting fortunately was in the right place to prevent a shot from actually coming through. Here's Basler again with another goal kick, and this one is won by us this time. Lin Guangdan takes it from Ndaye, sends it back to Ndaye. Ndaye wants to score. You can see it. There he is trying to get a cross in, and I'm not sure there was anyone to cross it to. And that is a very, very poor pass. We're trying these kind of awkward long passes, which is exactly the opposite of what I want these guys to do. We need to have short passes, and we need to be a little bit more sure about the ball. Here's Lin Guangdan with it, and he's going to move this one up. And here's another long pass. This is looking forward for Husher-chan, and his shot is deflected out for a corner. So that ends up with a positive ending. Husher-chan, though, is not really quite fast enough to be able to do that. Nene is, but sometimes it doesn't work for Nene. That was Kader Bamba on the header from that corner, and it just goes over the top. About 60 minutes into this match, and Ndaye over to Chen Chengju, over to Silla, back to Chen Chengju. And this is passed back to Bamba, over to Cai Yuting, who lumps it forward for Ndaye, who, how did he miss that? That's off the top bar and comes right back at him. Ndaye now again. And that was a very, very good pass, but there was nobody there on the other end of it, right? It's a good idea, good pass, but everybody looks a little bit too scared to get onto that. Baza then called for the foul, and that puts an end to that part. This was a great shot here by Ndaye. You can see that Husher-chan again is offside. And no, they're not showing that part. They're showing that foul at the end, which was kind of useless. So we have more replay challenges. Here is Feng Xiaoqi with this shot. He's going to take a shot. And he goes forward, and boy, Basler just gets his hands onto that one at the end. I thought that was going to go off the wall. No, it got through. Feng Xiaoqi once again. Another attempt to score, 60 minutes in. And it's Bamba once again with the header, and Basler barely able to get his hands onto it. So we've had a number of good chances. Feng Xiaoqi not exactly having the best of times out there because he doesn't like big matches, as you'll recall. Bamba passes to Chen Chengju. Chen Chengju takes this up to Menegong. Menegong is going to cross, and there's just nobody there. It's not a particularly good attempt. We've had that happen a couple of times. I'm not so sure if it's the crosser's fault or whose fault it is. That was an attempt by Husher-chan that almost got past the goalie. Basler just able to get his hands onto that one. A little mistake from him, and it would have been 2-0. Menegong now over to Chen Chengju. Back to Bamba. Bamba to Chen Chengju. Over to Ndaye. There we go. And Ndaye knocks this over to Menegong. This is more like it over to Silla. Silla lumps this forward for Ndaye, and there's going to be goal number 2 for Amado Ndaye. And that is onside, 2-0 for Mars FC, about 70 minutes in, and this is a little bit more like what we were expecting. So it's Ndai who scores all the goals, and I think that we could still make a case for running perhaps a strikerless system. I'm really considering that. If we get to next season and we're still with this club and, we're having a hard time finding a real striker, we may go strikerless, but we'll see what happens. There's a lot of game to be played before then. Caught our bomb over to Tencheongju now. It's lump 4 looking, I guess, for Ndaye, but I hate it when we do that. There's no point in doing that. We don't need to. And it causes us to have to fight hard to win the ball back in midfield. And here's Aretro, who should have scored that goal for Guam Shipyard, and said that is over everybody's head. So we got about 10 minutes left here in this match. We look like we will win, but it won't be as comfortable as we were hoping. 2-0 is not really the score line that we were really looking for here. We were hoping for a much larger victory to make us feel like we actually have superiority. And let's see if we can work to get this ball off of them one more time. I have a feeling we've tired a little bit here in the middle of the match, maybe a few too many matches in a row for these guys. And there is Artero with that goal, and it's called offside. It's called back. I'm not quite sure if this was the right call or not. Let's take a look at it and see if we can tell. And he's maybe a foot offside, maybe less, right? One of those that probably could go either way. Remember, there's no VAR, no technology here at all. Caught Bomba with it, lumps it forward, looking for Ndaye, can't find him. Lump backwards, and it's going to be Liu Chunjie who goes back and gets it. And he knocks us forward now to Feng Xiaochi. Our guys are looking a little bit tired. Over to Lin Guanda again. Liu Chunjie, he knocks that one forward to nobody. And this is what happens when we're tired. We end up just sort of lumping the ball forward with a prayer, hoping that somebody else is going to take care of the hard work. And, we need to go back. We need to win this one back. And Cai Yuting knocks it back, and it was probably the wrong decision. Got to let Li Chaba run over and grab that one. But it's all right. Cai Yuting a couple of bad decisions here in games as of late. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, this is this clear-cut chance we just saw, where Cai Yuting tried to clear it, and we had Li Chaba way out of position. That's what happens when you have a sweeper keeper, especially a sweeper keeper who doesn't like to play sweeper keeper. And so it is. Let's see if we can get this ball back off them again. And boy, Salas almost scores for them. Feng Xiaochi tries to clear it. It's a poor clearance, and we need to keep the defenses up for probably a couple more seconds here. And it's over to Hu Shichan, who heads it back, and that should be it, I think. Now they're keeping play going, and Silla has it over to Lin Guanda, and that is the end of play. So we have won our first international match. We'll go ahead and take a look here really quick at that clear-cut chance one more time. This was pretty good from Salas, and I would say that Li Chaba probably would have gotten that if that had actually been on goal. 1.69 XG, we throw the shutout. One shot on target for Guam Shipyard, so it wasn't so great. We had 60% of the possession easily. Another good match from us. We played well, and we just were able to hold on. So good experience for these guys. But I do think we have a number of young guys who don't like big matches. Hopefully this will make them think a little bit differently, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.